My name is Mary King, and I'm the director of the MS Accounting Flex program at UT Dallas. Lori Skillset is our program coordinator. She's traveling these days, but she sends her regards. Many of you may already have interacted with her. Together, we wanted to welcome you to our program and share some general information that may be helpful for you as you're navigating the registration process, especially since many of you are also trying to align CPA eligibility requirements with your degree plan, understand the tracks, and the waiver process. So we try to break down some of this information separately. We're also happy to meet with you individually. Our contact information you can find here. You can email us at our personal emails or our general shared email, and also feel free to make an appointment with us through the GenBook appointment system or by emailing us. So some general steps that we would recommend for now. New student advising hold. If you haven't already, you'll want to request that that be removed by contacting the advising office. After that, you can actually register. Degree plan and tracks. Make sure that you also review the different tracks that's on our website. If you are ready to select that, you can do so at any point via the link here that we've also emailed you. If you're not sure about it, don't worry. You can select that later on by the time you register for second semester courses. If you need a change, that's also fine. Keep in mind that your diploma will not indicate your track. It will just say MS in accounting. So we would recommend that you pick the track that best fits your career goals. For CPA eligibility, we would recommend that you review the requirements so that you can align your courses with those requirements. And then we would recommend that you set up an advising appointment with either Lori or myself so that we can go over your transcripts and help customize a degree plan for you. Keep in mind that there is one program prerequisite for all master's students. It's a 1-hour professional development course that you would typically take in your first semester. It's a 1-hour class, so together it would be 37 hours that you would graduate from. You could submit a waiver for it, which if approved, you don't need to worry about it. If not, you could take an accounting communications class that only accounting students typically do, and that would count 3 hours towards a degree as accounting elective credit. We can go over this in more detail with you later. Waivers. This may affect registration for some of you. There are different types of waivers. So the main thing that would affect your registration is if you are trying to waive a class that you've previously taken before. That would be a core waiver. So for example, intermediate 1, 2, or cost. If you can get that waived, you wouldn't need to take that as part of the degree plan anymore, but you would replace it with other accounting courses. The other type of waivers are called prerequisite waivers, which means any class you've taken previously that is required before a class you're going to take here. So we'll go over that in more detail. And then registration and academic calendar. You can actually start registering and review the calendar for important dates. How to become a CPA. We'll go over that in more detail later, but just know that if your background is accounting or business, most likely by the time you graduate here, you will be eligible to take the CPA exam. If your undergrad degree was not business, then you may need a couple extra business classes, but we'll help you plan for that accordingly. Regardless of which track you pick, if you want to be CPA eligible, this is kind of a good guideline for you. These give you some elective classes and core classes that you may take. We can go over this with more detail with you as well, but these are guidelines that may help you as you're trying to select classes. Something else that may help is that regardless of which track you pick, you want to follow sequencing for the following areas. So financial accounting, tax, and audit. Number 1, before you take intermediate 1, then you can take intermediate 2, then advanced financial reporting. For tax, typically a financial accounting principles class is sufficient, or intermediate 1 before you can take tax 1, then tax 2, and then other tax electives. For audit, you'll need intermediate 1 before the main auditing class, which is typically external audit, before you take advanced audit. If you want to go the internal audit route, you'll want to start with internal audit, and then you're eligible to advanced audit afterwards. Some other general tips: avoid taking more than 9 to 12 hours each semester. You want to plan to complete course prerequisites in that accounting communications class for those of you who decide to do that within your first year. Review faculty evaluations, course offerings, syllabi on coursebook from prior semesters for general guidance. You want to balance your core classes and your electives. Live versus online classes, international students, make sure that you check the enrollment calculator to make sure you're compliant with that. And then if you're wanting to double major, you may want to check cross-listed classes so that you can maximize the electives for both degrees so that they can overlap. So next steps, check holds and contact advising to remove them. You want to review the degree plan and make your track selection. You want to review CPA requirements and plan your coursework. Try to make an appointment with either Lori or myself to go over your classes. You want to submit waivers if applicable, and then you want to start registering. Hope that was helpful. We look forward to meeting you and wish you all the best. Take care.